recording has started.
That's it.
Okay. You want to get started, Cindi?
Are you guys 6 feet apart? Or 6
Sort of.
inches?
There we go. We'll switch off being in the screen.
Do we have anybody on with us?
Yes, I believe we do. We have a few people.
Cool.
Okay. I guess
Who wants to get paid?
We'll get started then. So, hi everyone, I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Mina. Hi.
And I'm Cindi.
And as Cindi said, we're going to teach you how to get paid today and use our newish, not so much new anymore, opportunities. So to get started, we're going to start with, Mina's going to teach us how to do the context and how to start the opportunity. I'm going to teach how to upload and the statuses once you have submitted it. And then Cindy's going to do the FAQs and any things that she sees on the Market Center side.
All right. So hi everybody. Mina again. So first I'm going to show you.
Sorry. And then we'll share this screen too.
Oh yes, that's right. All right, so first we're going to log in to KW Command. How you get there is the URL is agent.kw.com. And so you would put in your username and password here. Once you log in, your home page should look like this. And the very first thing you want to do for your opportunities is make sure your client is in your contacts. So you would click on the left side where the two people icon is, and then click on the right side where the add contact button is, and then you should get a pop-up. Now the only thing you really need is the name. However, it's really good to put in your client's contact information, phone number, email. You could, as you can see here, you can set it as if they're a lead, or if you want to put it in your sales pipeline, because you can use this same, anyone in your contacts for any of the CRM programs that we have here. So as soon as you put in their name and any other information you want, you can just click on create, and then they would end up here in your contacts list. Okay, so once your client is in your contacts, you want to go to the opportunities page, which is the two handshake icon on your left side. Just click on that. It's a little slow, but you'll see here on the right side is create opportunity. You want to just click on that, and another pop-up should come up. And as this loads, click on that again. Okay, so as you can see here, there's some certain areas in this screen that have a red star next to it. So those are the ones that you for sure need to fill out. Everything else is optional. So Market Center is your Market Center. Opportunity type is where you want to change it from either listing, buyer, landlord, or tenant, appropriate to who you're representing. The owner will be your name because you are the owner of this opportunity. And for client, this is where you can start typing in your client's name. And once you start typing it in, they'll pop up, and then you can just click on their name there. For opportunity name, we would prefer if you could just put in the property address, just to make it easier to find, but property name there. the amount of your commission rate, opportunity phase, so you can choose from cultivate, appointment, and opportunity stage. Again, these opportunity phases and stage, it's going to be different depending on what kind of opportunity type you do choose. So for example, for landlord, it's going to be a little different. So active here, applications, so they're all going to change. But once you appropriately fill these out, you want to click on create. And then, I just open up the lease. And then once you click, create that opportunity, you should have a opportunity that looks like whatever it is that you created. So for example, this would be a landlord opportunity. This is what it would look like. Okay, now I'm going to switch it on to Jocelyn.
Hi guys, so as Mina shows, this is a lease template. So here's the information that you can enter to. You don't have to fill out all the information, but this is the one that carried over once you created an opportunity. If you ever needed to edit any of the information, like you spelled something wrong or you just want to add more, you can click on this little pencil right here, and this brings you back to that section you were in earlier so that you're able to add more information. Also, here is also where you can add the address again, and this is not all necessary, but if you wanted to complete all of it, it's over here. Once this looks good, the detail section, you can click on documents. So once you're in the document section, when you first, I'm going to actually go back and show you a brand new one real quick. And so once you created a brand new one, it would be here. And we'll just pick our random address for the sample. So this is how an original opportunity would look like. So this is your first step would be you'd want to pick a checklist type. So this is where you can get the different ones such as like a residential, vacant land, commercial, new construction. So you're just going to pick the type that you want to do. So I'll just pretend it's a residential, and that will automatically bring in the placeholders for your documents and also the certain documents that are specific for that type. So these are all just specific for the residential. So if you click on commercial, you'll see that you'll have different ones for commercial, like the commercial listing agreement instead of the residential listing agreement. So once you're in here, you're able to add the documents into the slide, the little sections by clicking add a file. And you can either drag and drop it, or you could browse your computer for that specific one. So we'll just pretend that this is the 81, and then we'll click assign, and that will bring it into the placeholder. So you're just going to want to do that for all the ones that are required, and you can tell if a document is required for the file because it says required underneath, or else it will say optional, or the third would be conditionally required. And usually if it's conditionally required, it will let you know why. So for example, this is only if, like Selms, is if you actually did exclude it. If you didn't exclude it, you wouldn't then need it for the file. And you're going to want to make sure to turn in all this initial paperwork within the 24 hours of you getting it signed. So once you have all the documents in, you can submit it to the MC. And note, as you can see, I only uploaded one document, but you're able to already submit it. So you can have them checked throughout the process. So once you submit to MC, this will then send it over to our compliance team, and they're able to look at the file and they'll be able to check it on their end. So you'll know that it's been successfully submitted because the status will change to status submitted, and there are different statuses that will let you know once they have checked the file. So you just want to make sure to do this for each section. So I think a lot of agents sometimes get stuck on, they think that this listing folder is just for all the documents, but you're just going to want to make sure to also click under it to the under contract and the closing documents. And this will give you a complete file. So after you have submitted, then you're going to want to go use our new type of green sheets. So what's replacing green sheets are the commission tab. And so what you have to do is first create the offer. So this is what you agreed on in the RPA of which the purchase price, how much like commission percentage you are getting. So we'll just make up a buyer. I guess I will do Andrew as my example. Oops, associate name. So you just only have to fill out the ones with the red stars. And then terms. So this is where the sales price. So let's pretend that your client is putting down 100,000. You're getting a finance of 400,000, and that gets you to your sales price of 500,000. Earnest money, that's just how much money they're putting down. And these don't really apply to us in California, so you don't have to fill those. And you can go to agent analysis. So agent analysis is kind of like that section in the green sheet where you can write how you view the other agent on the other side. You do not have to fill this out. I mean, if you really want to tell us as MCAs how you feel about the other agent, you're more than welcome to. I've seen some creative answers before, but remember, you don't have to. So once you've filled out information, now you're over to this section where you can accept the terms. And now you're able to click on this commission tab. And before that moment, you were not allowed to because you had to first enter the information about the transaction. So once you're at the commission tab, you're able to fill out the information like similar to the green sheet, but what's nice is it's all in one location now, so you don't have to go back to my KW or anything. So the contract date, that was when your contract was accepted. So we can pretend it was accepted June 1st. And I guess at the beginning I had put the close date. So it looks like it's, you could change this if you go back to the details too. So what it does is it's creating the numbers for you based on the information that you provided on how much commission you're getting and the purchase price. So it's saying her Mina's gross commission is $12,500. She's paying $750 in royalty, which is at 6%, and just based on her split, the 70-30, that's how much company dollar is paid. So it's actually doing all the numbers for you and letting you know. Also on the side right here where it says cap actual balance, how much company dollar you've already paid, how much you paid in royalties, and how much you have left, which is pretty cool so that you're able to see the numbers while you're entering. And this section right here where it's the deductions, this is where you're able to put in your TC, your outside referrals, if you have a credit, if you wanted to donate to KW Cares, this is where you could enter that information. So like if you wanted to donate this, you just fill it in and then it'll recalculate the check amount. To add the other, like if you're doing a concession, or if this is where you could also put the inside referrals or outside referrals. And to enter this, you would just need to make sure to put how much the referral amount is going to be, percentage, the amount. You also have to put in their EIN numbers, and that's just for tax reasons so that we as the brokerage could send the 1099s later to that brokerage. And you would put their address and just fill out anything with the little red stars. Oops. So once this is submitted, Looks like I would have to have, it's not letting me submit because I didn't put the listing agreement in the beginning. You would then be able to submit this to the MCA, and then we as MCAs would be able to get it from the opportunities section as well. So, and then this is just a notes section if you wanted to put anything, and this is also just the timeline. Here will show you interactions of what you've done so far or what any of the office is doing on our side in the same opportunity. Let me go back to the documents section. So on this one, we're showing it's submitted. Let's see if I can pull a different one. So as you can see right here, you can also see how when a status is approved, it changes here, and it also changes in this section to status approved and lets you know when it was changed. And that's when the compliance team has put the status has changed, and also they can leave comments here, and you're able to talk through command to each other. So if you click on add a comment, you're able to talk with them, and also they're able to talk to you. Just note that when you're getting notifications, you're not getting emailed them. If you want them to email you, you can put it in here, but if you wanted to talk to them just through command, you can put the @ symbol, and that sends them a notification on their command, and you can type in here, and this will let them see any notes you have. So you could just go, for example, thank you, and now a message will be sent over. And where you would receive the notification would be on this little bell up here next to your profile picture, and then it will send you like a little link telling you what exactly is or what the message was saying and which file it was for. Let's see. Another question that people get to is what if you're past a certain stage, how do you change it to a different one? So when you're on this original opportunity screen, like, so for example, this one is saying cultivated, but you wanted to move it, you're able to click here and move it to the different slots. So you can move it to nurture, or you can change it to active. So all you would have to do is grab it by these little 9 dots, and you can change it. So if this one was actually going to close soon, you can also change the status of it to the close section too, as an agent. Okay. So that is pretty much how to do the submissions and things like that. Cindi, did you want to go over any questions or more things that you see on your end?
Yeah. For an MCA, I think that doing a green sheet or now a commission instruction, it's a recipe. And as MCAs, if we don't get all the ingredients to the recipes, it turns out really bad. So if we don't know that there's a referral fee, if we don't know that there's a concession to the buyer or the seller, if there's a referral fee, what you might be paying out of your commission, we have to go back to the drawing board and recreate it for you. And sometimes it can be troubling due to the fact that if it's already gone to escrow, they've cut the check, and you get your check and you go, whoa, I got $5,000 more than I thought I was. Well, it's because maybe you forgot to give us the information on the referral fee. So just be sure that you're really careful if you're doing the commission instruction, or if you're having a TC do it, that you pass on all those ingredients so that our recipe comes out proper. The other thing that I've noticed is sometimes you forget to hit the submit button. And if you don't hit the submit button, it doesn't come to us. So we don't know that you're out there working hard, and it throws off our projections. Joce said that as soon as you get it within 24 hours, to start uploading everything, which would be amazing in our world, because we can start working on it. Compliance can start checking the file for you right at the very beginning, so that we're not 3 weeks into the transaction and your seller maybe has already taken off for Nebraska and you're still trying to get disclosures signed and initialed, and they don't have internet. So as soon as you can get things uploaded, we would really appreciate it. Compliance does an amazing job that sometimes they're giving me notification that a file is complete before I even get a check from escrow. So that's very, very helpful. What questions do you have of us that we can make your transaction go smoother?
Let's see, is there any? Oh, okay, it looks like we have one that says, can you please show steps how to get access to our existing opportunities for uploading more documents? Okay, so how to find ones that you are already working on and that you left and came back. So let's just pretend that you logged back in and you just came back, you exited out, you came back, and now you're looking for your old one. So now you would just go back down to opportunities, which are the 2 handshake ones. And then you can click on all opportunities, or you can go, back. You can look here and try to see which one you're working on. And then this will have all the opportunities that you have in your file so that you are able to see which one that you want to currently go back to. So if I want to go back to the one in the example, I found my 118 North Larchmont. I'm able to click it, and I can just click on the Documents tab, and this brings me back to where we first were originally. Okay. Let's see, do we have any from James? Okay. I think, and so also I think another frequently asked question for, at least for our end, probably the same with Cindi, is like, where can you find like the KW disclosures? So if you're KW Calabasas, you can go, those are still in your My Market Center intranet. So I'll show you where ours is, and then Cindi, maybe you can tell where yours are too. Oops. So it's in our Market Center intranet, and you can just click on the quick link at the bottom, and this takes you to that location. Ours is under Market Center, Documents, and then you can go to what type it is. So like if it's a sale or if it's a lease, this is where you can find the KW lease addendum, KW like lease money disposition. So if you're ever looking for those forms that are just KW specific, this is where you can find them for Calabasas Market Center. How about for Coastal?
We also have them on our KW share drive for our office, and we also have them loaded on our copiers, on both of the copiers. So if you're in the office and you need to download it from there, you're able to. The other thing that would help the MCAs is if in the note sections, if you would provide escrow information for us. Just the name of the escrow company would be really helpful, and that way we can track back to who your escrow instructions are going to go to. In our office, what we do is we send you both the commission instruction and the CDA for you to approve, and then either you or your TC can forward it to escrow. to make sure that we've inputted everything correctly. I don't know what, are you guys on the same process?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, if you have a TC that's working on your file and you're notice like and it's like a newer TC, it would be great to put that in the notes section as well, so that compliance would know to reach out to that TC instead of reaching out to you and you having to forward it to your TC. It just saves that extra step of having like providing them the person to contact. And then also for those, back to that, the KW forms, if you need it for the west side, I know they have a Google Drive, and Beach Cities also has it in the My KW Center as well, if anyone's on there. Let's see, do we have any more questions out there for Facebook people? I think.
Does this training apply to KW West Side?
Yes. This is the new system that is applying for all the different KW office. The question was, does this training apply to a certain office? But this is the one that all of the offices are moving towards. We're trying to just all focus on opportunities and not go back to .loop or anything like that.
Have you guys heard a final date, or have they said when they will stop accepting green sheets?
They have not given the final date yet. So if you're using the green sheet, you can still use it for this time being. We are going to eventually totally move over to that opportunities, and they will at one point remove the green sheet from the MyKW site. But as of right now, you're able to still use it. Don't worry, we'll know once and let you guys know as well once that happens. It'll be all fun for everybody.
I personally think that this is easier than completing a green sheet.
I think the great part about it is it does the numbers for you, so you don't have to remember like, oh my gosh, did I cap on royalty? Did I cap on my company dollar? It already programs that for you, so that's I think saves you in itself a couple minutes or so.
Correct. Yeah.
I am good on the opportunity. Do we have any other questions or anything? If not, or let's see. Okay, so this is a good question. If I've submitted a green sheet and are in a transaction, should I repeat the info in the commission section? No, you just have to just do one or the other, because otherwise I'll create like a duplicate. So just pick one right now.
Joce, could you show them how, if there is a split on a transaction, let's say that agent A is getting 80% and agent B is getting 20%?
Sure, let's go back to grab that. So when you're in this section, oops, that's a co-broker. You have to change the unit amount in order to be able to add another agent onto the file. Oops. Hold on. I think I'm causing a lot of errors on this thing right now. Okay. Here's my add agent. Hold Thoughts. I will go back and I'll get the PDF steps directions on how to do it. I think I'm causing too many things right now, but I'll add it onto this Facebook chat on how to put it on there.
Okay, and the other one is if you're representing both the buyer and the seller.
So if you're doing both the buyer and the seller, I would add like both the commissions and then make the units on the beginning to put that you were both sides. And when you're doing both sides, you're gonna want to make sure that you're picking the listing template so that you can upload all the paperwork for both the listing and the sales side as well. You do not need to make two opportunities for that. You can just put them all on one, but you just have to make sure to pick the listing template if you're going to do that, or otherwise it might be a little more difficult. Can our TCs have access to opportunities? They are currently working on a way to give TCs access remotely, but as of right now, agents are going to have to give their login and password for TCs to log in. Unless they are part of your team, then you can make them your team access, but that's like if you have an admin who's like doing your TC for you.
Good questions.
Okay.
What if my transaction cancels? I'm the listing agent and my transaction cancels, but I get it back into escrow. Do I create a new opportunity and a new commission, or do I just edit?
These are great questions. I would archive it as if it's like, especially if it's a new contact, because otherwise this transaction is based on like a certain like person. So if you were a buyer, for example, and let's say like it's John, then all this information would be under John, but let's say you canceled and now you're with Bob, like you would be under the wrong person, so all this data would be associated with like a different one. So that's when you would want to archive it and also or start adding a new one. If it's the same person, you can use it. You could edit the offers. You can change the responses, and you can like edit the data, I believe so. Edit offer. So you can change the commission and resubmit it to that different amount. For the documents also, if you are looking, you can always replace it as well. If you are going to use the same template, though, I would keep the same ones and just relabel it so that you as like an agent always have access to like the past files, because you always want to have access to your paperwork and make sure you have records of everything. But that does lead me to, you can always replace it here, and you would just drag in the new one and replace it. So for example, if you put something accidental, like the wrong document here, you can always change that up too. And then I think you were saying also you were mentioning about archiving. So let's say you totally dropped a transaction and it's no longer going to happen. You're able to get rid of it, like get rid of an opportunity by clicking the three dots, and then you just click on archive opportunity, and that will take it away from your list so that it's not visible. But the good thing about archive is if you accidentally archive it, that way you're able to bring it back as well. And this is better than like dot loop in the sense that you weren't able to do that. It would just sit there. I know that used to drive people crazy. So at least you're able to do that with opportunities.
Any other questions from the audience?
Okay. Well, thank you guys all for coming, and until next time.
Thank you.
Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye.